if Saints are going to get some points tonight, I would imagine it would have been on Turbine. If you'd asked me before the match which map I would have imagined them to take points on, it would be Turbine. I'm not imagining. I mean, it might be quite stereotypical of me, but I'm not imagining the Russian players to quite have the brains to coordinate themselves effectively on Turbine, and it is a map that requires quite a lot of coordination and concise calling. And I'm imagining that the Swedes are going to have the advantage there as they're all using their mother tongue. I'm not sure actually. Do you think 425 all have the same language?
Well, I think what we've got Russia, Belarus, and there's another one. Is it Ukraine?
Yeah. I'm very ignorant on Eastern Europe. I apologise in advance for any Eastern Europeans watching. I have not a clue whether they speak the same primary language. Anyway, I'm sure that they are all speaking some kind of Russian, but I'm not sure if that's some of their players' second language. Well, either way, I think the game sense of Saints is going to possibly secure them some caps here. Maybe even pinch them a point.
I mean, I don't know if you've brought up the logs for the last round, but I hope Jon has. He normally has them up. But looking at the damage per minute and the kills as well, Death just topping the charts by a long way with 39 frags in that match and 15,000 damage, absolutely destroying Smear, who only got 12.5. So it working out really well for 425 in terms of DM from Death and from Kenzie as well, and Kenzie and Shayu who also topping. Nowhere near as close as Death. So I think Raw DM can definitely win 425 the middles, but then if Saints can pull out strats and just use their superior game sense to really push and find chinks in the 425 armor, it's definitely going to be an easy number of caps for them.
Yeah, I'm thinking 425 are going to absolutely crush these mid fights with Death putting out ridiculous damage and the scouts just going huge all over the place. It'll be interesting to see if Caps can come up with anything on these mid fights. On Badlands, he had some really nice bombs. He managed to take Death out of mid fights. It'll be nice to see if he can whip up some kind of interesting Roma strat on mid. Anything really innovative so far of the Turbine games that I've watched from Romas. They've just all been playing a very, simple, we're going to jump the other crate and kill people. But it'd be nice to see something flashy from Caps here.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've watched a lot of Turbine and I wish I hadn't because I find it particularly boring. But it just seems to be hold middle and then push with 4. That seems to be the sort of the strat. You push with 4 from various different places, but it's always with 4 and then leaving 2 to sort of look after middle and make sure that they don't sneak a scout in behind you. Oh, Sideshow's actually disconnected from mobile. Oh, we're back. Back? I don't think he is. Oh,
hello.
There we go.
Yes, I am back. What happened there?
I don't know, but I think you disconnected.
How very odd. My internet is very unstable. But, yeah, that's the first time that's happened in a while.
Okay, well, yes, as I was saying, I think Turbine bores me a little bit because it always seems to be the sort of the same stereotypical strat of push with 4 from what I've seen so far. I mean, I may be completely wrong. I generally am. But what I've seen, it is push with 4, leave 2 behind to look after middle and make sure they don't sneak a scout in behind.
Yeah, it is that, but I find it quite entertaining the way that there's always there's kind of a lot of the times there's multiple fights going on around the map as somebody's trying to sneak the intel back from the attacking team, having the combo v combo Uber fights in main, and you also have the the Roman holding mid trying to defend himself from 2 scouts that are wrecking him. I don't know. I think it's quite an entertaining map, but I also think it'll be one that's incredibly difficult for Jon to kind of keep a handle on where everything's happening. Good luck, Jon.
Yeah. I think I cast my first game on it with cameramanning his first game days ago, and didn't seem to go too badly. I think we managed to catch most of the action with the stats plugins that Jon has got installed, and all live logs and everything. So hopefully we will be able to get all the action, or at least most of the important bits, and what both teams are going to be able to pull out. See if they've got any clutch pocket strats that they can do as well.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if we have any off classes. I know a few teams down in the fiery depths of Div 2 where I'm playing this season, mentoring a team. like to run heavy, occasionally sniper on this map. You don't see it too often with Prem, but I have a feeling that we could see some sniper off classes, definitely. We've seen them quite prolifically on Badlands, which isn't really notoriously a sniper map. And Turbine can be quite good if you get on mid, if you're holding it. You know, you've got that sight line from balcony all the way into the main, or you can snipe from one of the crates and try and pick into banana. You know, I'm interested to see if they can create some kind of interesting picks and plays there, or maybe even some spy plays, which are always welcome.
Yeah, absolutely. Denier, we saw going huge on spy last game. Let's see if he can do it again. Also sniper. I mean, we've got Kenzie, Denier, and Albert, all who have proven themselves to be really good at sniper. So see what they can actually manage to do. And they're both teams are talking about Dota right now in chat. So I'm hoping we're not going to transfer it over to Dota because I can't cast Dota.
Honestly, whenever I see Dota being played, you might as well be talking another language and it also be in sign language. I have not a clue what is happening with any of those MOBA games. Even less of a clue that I have with TF2, and I find that difficult enough.
Yeah, so we've heard. So we've Hildreth quite often when you used to play with him.
Yeah, I am rather renowned for my idiocy. But I try and offer this Prem experience, and we're going to see if I can keep a handle on what's going on in these Turbine games. I think I'm mainly going to be following the combos as they engage each other, and we're going to see the Uber fights and who is going to be able to hold middle. And I'm expecting some excellent team fights as well. You just break down into a DM fight on mid occasionally, and I'm expecting 425 to come out on top on almost all of them.
That's a bold statement, but I think I would have to agree with you there. But it looks like we're just waiting for one last player to rejoin the server. I think it's going to be Caps there. So Saints maybe actually going to sub out another player, maybe? I don't know. Maybe Caps is just having a little bit of trouble. He's going to rejoin in a second, hopefully.
Caps having some internet problems. Hopefully he'll be able to sort them out, because he was really carrying them on a lot of middles there on Badlands. And it would be a real pity if they were not able to play with him.
Yeah, definitely. I think also Smear has got to be a big part of their team as well. He's one of the better players. Their failed Prem attempt, 2 seasons ago now, when they got put into Div 1 and then folded because they couldn't be bothered. But if they'd been in Prem there, I think they've said repeatedly that they would have tried a lot harder. And Smear, of course, was on that team, and he was a clutch part of that team as well, a linchpin.
Yeah, I think they were actually quite a bit better that season than they are now. But possibly due to Vanilla being on pocket and kind of calling for them. Vanilla's he gets a lot of stick in the competitive community, but he's not a bad gamer and he's fairly intelligent, although he does act like an idiot often.
Well,
but
most of Solar do. Ex-Solar, or whatever that team is called. And
apart from my boy Hawku, that kid. I-52 dreams will be born.
What, Hawku of IO Girl fame?
Yeah, Hawku of Solar and IO Girl fame.
Hadn't actually played as an official in ETF2L for like 17 seasons or something.
Yeah, he'd been around that entire time and never played an official, and we took his official virginity. His official virginity, goodness.
Well, that's a wonderful turn of phrase there, but I'm just waiting for this game to get started, because of course we have got another one coming up afterwards, guys, so once we finish this, don't go away. I suspect we'll go to a slight break while we're working out what teams are going where, and if servers are going to be changed, but yeah, there is going to be another match coming up, 425, carrying on from their victory on first map, and hopefully going to try and bring that through onto the second map, and then onto our next match against BFF. But me and Sideshow will be here for all of that time, and we'll hope to see you there for the second match. I think I said that a lot.
Yeah, it promises to be a pretty good game, much higher skill game anyway, with BFF playing against 425. I'd really like to see 425 do something on against BFF, but you know, I'm not really holding out any hopes. I'm expecting it to go the way of BFF, but hopefully they can make it a decent game, 425. Another thing that I would, the game against 425, they're saying in chat, hurry up, we have an official at 21:15. But let's be honest, BFF have got to wait for them anyway. It's not like we're going to be late casting it or we're going to miss any action here because we literally have to wait for 425 in order for the next game to begin.
Well, let's just hope that BFF don't take a page out of the Highlander season's book and try to claim defaults.
Yeah, it's not very often that you see Prem default wins. I believe the last one was taken by those scumbags of Ale Girl against Phoenix.
How
2 seasons ago.
Terrible.
I know, horrific. But with Skeed's scheduling, what can you do?
Well, I wouldn't know. I've never scheduled against Skeed. So. I'm only a very lowly div. Sat there with my slightly higher than 6.
As we see in chat at the moment, it looks like Caps has completely buggered his internet, and they're going to have to get in Maffy as a merc.
Well, he's on the roster. They don't need to. Yeah, they've just remembered he's on the roster.
So they're getting in Maffy as a backup, I guess, not a merc. If I'm not wrong, Maffy played demo for them at one point, didn't he?
Yeah, wasn't he like when they've destroyed Div 2 again 3 seasons ago now?
Yeah,
I don't know. I
think
he
that was
their
even
demo
4 seasons ago.
I don't even know.
And yeah, that was. I think Maffy was their demo man there. Not as good a demo man as Smear, definitely. Smear's much superior as demo man, and I have no idea how Maffy plays on. Maffy did play Roma at some point for them as well, actually.
I think he was like their all-class merc.
Yeah.
All-class sub. Smear was playing sort of like half a season. And then
once
Maffy
they got
played,
Smear in, Maffy played... I think Maffy actually played Roma as well when Stark was on Demo Man. So he does have some experience on Roma, but I'd certainly rate him worse than Caps. Caps really a huge loss for this team if they're not able to play with him.
Who was their old pocket? I'm trying to remember now, and I cannot think who it was.
I'm going to be honest, I have no idea. My memory is terrible at the times, and it doesn't stretch back that far.
I thought that although Lackey was doing a lot of work this game, a lot of work last game, and he did seem to be pulling his own weight in Prem as well, actually, to be fair to him. For a player whose sort of last game was in Div 3 last season, he seemed to be doing... He seemed to be doing all right so far.
Yeah, he seems to be doing pretty well. He had some decent Uber fights. He managed to get a fair bit done. I didn't notice him really screwing up a lot of stuff, so he's got that going for him. He occasionally overextended on middle fights. I don't think he really put down as much pressure as he possibly could have sometimes, but he put down a fair bit, I think.
Yeah, definitely. But I think sort of Smear was putting down most of it though. In comparison, sorry, I was alt tabbed. I wasn't actually concentrating. if you couldn't tell by my confused tone of voice.
Yeah, so we're really waiting for this game to go underway. It seems that Caps has rejoined the server actually, and they will be using Maffy as a merc. And just as Caps rejoins the server, one of the 425 guys is disconnected and comes back in. And Come Down rejoins, and it looks like they're going to be readied up, and we should have a game starting very shortly.
Yep, there we go. So if you've just joined us, this is Team Fortress TV. My name is Ryushi. Joining me is Sideshow. On the camera is Jon. This is going to be our second map of tonight. It's going to be 425 versus Saints, and on Turbine. Sideshow, take us away for the mid.
We've got Come Down coming in here, and Anak as well, as they rain down rockets on Saints and get a lot of damage up. But Smear really going huge here, as Sid Vicious has to come back into the middle fight, and Smear picks up 2 more kills on Dicker and Sid Vicious. Really going huge there on the mid fight. I think he picked up 4 kills there, maybe even 5. I couldn't even count. He was raining stickies left, right and centre, and he's locked off this shutter door and secured the mid fight for his team. Really great play by Smear there, as it looked like the 425 team had won it.
Yeah, Come Down actually did the little rollout where you like fly down the stairs, and Smear was waiting for it, and he put a trap up and just destroyed him. So 425 coming in, 1 player down already into this last point, and Death is even going to get picked out by the sticks of Smear. So already an immediate second cap for Saints, as they've already got a point on the board from a pretty good mid fight.
A really strange play here, as they have Caps falls off the top and dies of fall damage. But he was a heavy trying to defend the midpoint without any heals, and he's just going to get crushed in that kind of situation. And the combo for 425 pushed out and got him down, and they've managed to kind of equalise this mid fight, and they might even be able to get these spawns out and contest mid again, as it's only come down alive. But Saints have got another cap here, I believe, and this is going to be 2-0, I think, on the board for Saints.
Yeah, that
Cap's
eventually
still running the heavy as well.
eventually worked out. Both like we had Lack and Smear left alive after the end of that fight, but bit strange. And now, of course, that damage coming out from Caps, holding up top, putting out a ridiculous amount of damage onto those players of 425, and it looks to be really, really good. So in comes Caps again. They're actually going to pick up 2 frags here right now, and that's just not the position that 425 want to find themselves in, because they've already lost Death, and now with so many players down for them, it's going to be a tough time to hold this middle, especially against the aggressive heavy who can come from anywhere.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest though, the heavy there is a really poor play in my opinion. Like, he's got no heals, so he's just kind of stuck up top and spinning up. You know, he's doing chip damage from sort of far away across the fight. Oh, we see a spy coming in here. I'm going to interrupt myself. Oh, Denia immediately gets spotted and destroyed. They knew that was coming. It looks like they're going to take the Uber here through top, through the vents, as we see Jon's disco vents, as I saw in the previous stream. He's got some weird graphics config and it makes them look sparkly. Disco vents. As the Uber comes in here and they manage to pick off. Yep, they eventually managed to pick off Lack, and they're surely going to be able to get this Cap out as Kenzie escapes on 3 HP with the intel. Cap's still running this heavy. He manages to pick up Dicker. It's a really poor play, Ubering in from the vents. I don't know what they're thinking, because they just completely isolate Dicker once he runs out of the Uber charge.
Yeah.
Enemy's intel room. I really hate pushing vents with an Uber charge, and I really don't think it's a good idea. It looks like neither team really has a formulated or very coherent plan of how to play this, as I really don't like heavies on the mid fights, and I really don't like Ubers through vents, and I don't think they're great pushes either way. But Onkaya now has 100% Uber advantage, and the mid control swings in the way of Saints. Kenzie running the sniper here. Get on the Kenzie cam.
Well, let's see what they're going to be able to do. Is they're pushing in Banana with this huge Uber advantage. They're trying to get near that intel. There we go, that's the word. Death is going to get picked out. Kenzie trying to snipe as many people as possible, but no, they are eventually going to pick it up and back. It's going to bring it to 3-1 for Saints. There was a really interesting moment where Denia and Kenzie sort of faced off against each other, both holding their intel, and Denia won that, but didn't end up mattering. And now Saints still holding middle here with this heavy, so it's going to be tough for 425 to push in, although they do have sort of 50% advantage right now.
Yeah. Oh, Kenzie manages to hit the bottom of Onkaya's feet there, and he just clips his heels for a body shot and down, and this is going to give Dicker the full 100% advantage. As they push into mid, Caps is not going to have no heals as well, and they should surely wreck this. They really need to take that heavy down, but it shouldn't be a problem. Oh, and Denny is running the counter sniper and manages to pick off Kenzie. This isn't going so well for 425 as they lose 2 people to Saints 3 with a full Uber advantage. You would hope for more than that. They're going to get the cap though and hopefully retreat. No, unfortunately Shayu gets caught in the intel room.
Yeah, but Sid Vicious actually goes in aggressively and allows Smith to get a double kill there. Although they did pick up Danny on because he's confused about what's going on right now.
And they allowed Death to escape intel as well. That was quite a good play there by 425. They're scouting to cause a distraction, and Death got out with the intel. You know, that's all they needed. But I think they're going to lose the mid control here as the entire team is incredibly weak. And Caps comes rolling in there heavy. I really just like this heavy play. He really can't lock down a single door, and he just does poor spam damage. But whatever, it seems to be working out for them at the moment. Dicker has a small Uber advantage. He's not going to know that he is, and push in here with the man advantage. Saints Uber v Uber. See what they managed to do here in the intel room of 425.
Well, this is where the heavy is actually going to play, and actually going to be useful in those close quarters. But he's nowhere to be seen, and I think he's probably out on middle again, if I'm correct there. Denny is going to get picked up, and now 425 looking to get aggressive once again. And Caps, again, yeah, he was on middle, gets picked up by Kenzie, and out DM'd by a scout there. And now 425 just rolling forward, picking up players left, right, and centre. Smear and Alba, the only ones left alive. I think there's someone with some intel somewhere.
Yeah, Sid Vicious got the intel and he's going back via their banana, so that's going to even it up 3-all and have the 425 have the control of the point. Caps is utterly unable to hold middle point as a heavy. There are so many entrances that the enemies can come through, and if he's sat on a crate, he has absolutely no mobility. Oh, it looks like Alba's got through with the intel here. Is he going to be able to snake his way through? No, he gets caught by death, and the 425 Uber is really quite close to the Saints intel room. If they can push out some kind of Uber charge here. Oh, no. Dick has got a huge Uber advantage, and they're just going to push this straight in. They need another player here as they're going with Sid Vicious as well. It looks like they're going to be able to take another cap and bring this to 5-3. The Saints absolutely need to get onto Sid Vicious here as he escapes via banana. And unless the Saints team push out here, they're just going to lose this round.
Well, they're trying to come out Shutter. There's a stick trap there. Come down, and Death doing huge amounts of damage to the players trying to come out of Shutter. And that is surely going to be our... what is Sid Vicious doing? He's hitting himself... kill himself just before he can Uber, but no, he does manage to cap it with 3 health right there. That is going to be our first round on the board for 425 there.
Yeah, really nice play by 425. In a lot of the Uber situations, they had much better Ubers, which allowed them to push out into mid and gain a lot of territory. But equally, Saints were overcommitting with bad Ubers. They were trying to hold mid with a heavy, which I really dislike, and they got caught by the sniper a few times as well. Smear looks like he's rolled out much quicker than the enemy Demoman this time, and is raining down damage upon the blue team. Both the soldiers from 425 going really aggressive, but unfortunately Denier and Smear combining together out ridiculous damage on the 425, and Denier finally picking up his scattergun and really pressuring back the 425 team as Saints take the middle.
Yeah, and Alba, of course, already picked up that intel, so that is going to be 1-0 once again to Saints. Saints getting the best out of that mid-fight once again. So they win it and they get a cap. That's the exact same thing that happened in the first round. And now Onkai is actually going to drop Lackey there, and Smear as well. They're going to have to back out. They've got the cap, but
Death just completely out DMing Smear there. Oh, and Onkaya drops to a roller. No, he doesn't drop. He didn't quite have the Uber, but he went down there to a roller that just kind of tickled underneath his feet and exploded. Blew up a pile of Gibbs.
Yeah, I mean,
Caps is a big fat heavy in the intel room. He's going to go down so quickly. Denny is sat here trying to make something work as well. Yeah, unfortunately there's nothing they can do there as the 6 players just kind of storm in. They really would have... Their time would have been much better spent trying to get the Uber out of Dicker there instead of trying to defend the intel room against 6 players with an Uber. It's just nonsensical.
And 425 coming straight back in with you, but they didn't force it out. They're coming straight back in. They're going to try and catch out as many Saints players as they can. Maybe even catch Lackey here. He's really, really low, but no. They do get him with the final fadeaway rocket by come down there. And they're going to just continue to try and chain, but in comes the heavy. They do back away at the sight of it. And now they're just going to back and pick up Alba from behind, I think, somewhere. Just been going for that intel.
I've lost complete... I have no idea where the intels are at the moment, but I assume
in the room,
and they get another cap there. They get another cap there, 425 just then. But I believe they pushed in Uber there when they didn't have the cap, which was a really odd play.
But what you mean? You mean that they pushed in before it respawned?
Yeah. See, they were coming out here really aggressively. They know they have something like 40% advantage, but the blue. Lack hits a really nice direct there on Shayu, but Dick has managed to drop back to his intel with 90% Uber, and they're going to be able to hold this and re-push mid with the Uber advantage.
I mean, Shayu's going to be up in 4 seconds time now, and Smear actually might get caught out here. He's full health.
What's he doing?
That's just
Smear really poor play there.
And they're going to pick up Denier as well, who was, I think, on the vent somewhere. And now they're coming in. Onkai is going to get blown up immediately. And the Saints just losing players left, right, and centre. Caps, the heavy, still alive, but not for long. And that is it. 425 surely can get at least another 2 caps out of this. They can change this, I think, can't they?
Yeah, I'm absolutely perplexed as to what Saints are doing sometimes. They know they have disadvantage, and yet they're holding really aggressively on mid, not trying to get the force out, and they still have a heavy. And they've got disadvantage. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing, Swedes? They're currently running a sniper and a heavy. I'd like to see the Alba cam and see if he manages to get a fully charged body shot and on somebody to change the tide of this battle.
Well, it wouldn't be the first time that we've seen him do it, but like he's going to be able to do anything at the moment.
Caps is heavy, and he's rolling that through vents to get the high ground here with his minigun. I guess he's going to drop on someone or something. This is really strange play by Caps with the heavy. At the time, I'm just wondering what on earth he's doing.
You feel it'd be much more useful if he was playing that soldier role, but it's not because Blue Uber's coming straight in right now with both soldiers aggressively pushing up. Lack's going to get picked up on that stairs, and now that's going to be a 4th cap for 425 unless someone can block Mackenzie on middle, but there's no one here to defend. And now Xiaoyu and Calm Down just combine their rockets together to pick up a 3k onto so many Saints players.
Unfortunately, they've left Dicker alone, and Dicker gets picked up by Denier, and Calm Down just wrecked by Denier as well, and Xiaoyu was nowhere to be seen, and they just left him all on his lonesome. And the Saints have managed to defend their intel as well, and that sits back at their intel room, and they've managed to take control of middle.
It's only 4-1, so of course there is only one more point 425 need to take this round and the game.
Yeah, they really just need to have one concerted push out, you know. They need Come Down and Sid Vicious here not to die. They've lost a cap, they should not even be contesting it. They need to just get their spawns again and push mid. Again, they're pushing out when they've only got 3 players up. This is really bad play from 425. They shouldn't be trying to contest mid. They know that the enemy team is in their intel room, and yet they're trying to push forward and control mid.
Well, as,
really questionable play.
I think someone's just... I think Alba's just sneaked a cap round the back, so it's going to bring it to 4-2, and 425 get destroyed there by a sticky tap from Smear and Caps combining to take down Calm Down, and now in comes the red team just destroying everything from behind. Xiaoyu and Dick are going to get picked up. That is 5 down for 425. Sid Vicious, the only one left alive. He shouldn't even be able to defend this intel by himself.
He's actually gone behind for the enemy intel. He's going through vents now, and he's dropping down. He's going to be against a heavy.
There's no one here. Oh,
there is. There's a heavy sat on the intel. He's not going to be able to get it, and he runs backwards. It was really bad play there from 425. Maybe they didn't know where the enemy team, but they knew that they had Uber, so you just can't contest mid when you have an Uber disadvantage. It's really silly idea. So they're pushing out now, and the enemy team has the Uber, and it's in the intel room. I don't know what they're thinking. Every time they just Uber and get crushed here in the Uber exchange. They need to go and build an Uber, and then have one good Uber fight and a push out. They've allowed Saints now to get 2 extra caps, and they're going to allow them to get another as they get crushed by this Uber that comes in from... Oh, they've actually managed to force the Uber from Onkaya in quite a bad position. Although Saints should still retain control of the mid here, as another cap goes Saints' way. As Denier, I believe that is, brings it back through the vents.
Yeah, but Sid Vicious and Death combined together to take down Heavy, and now they're on middle with this intel, trying to get it as back as possible. Death's going to pick up Smear, and I think that's going to be it. Sid Vicious, he's getting low. He does manage to take down Alba with the help of Kenzie, and I think this is going to be our 5th point. It is 4-4. He's killing himself once again.
Yeah, this really odd play by 425 eventually worked out as they managed to get 2 players behind and just bunched up, steamrolled through to the intel room and then back through to theirs. I mean, it's poor play by Saints because they should have been able to hold mid and stop them coming back out with the intel, but it is how it is, and that is 2-0 to 425, and Saints do not pick up a point, unfortunately for them.
Yeah, I think a lot of that came down to, as you were saying, the Caps heavy play just was not working for them. But I have just noticed, because I've been pressing tab not enough, but I have just noticed that he's had pretty high ping throughout the whole map.
That might have been a factor as to why he chose to play heavy then. I guess if he's not able to shoot rockets, if he's got fluctuating ping, then you're not going to want to play soldier. But if it was just kind of a, you know, like
if it was the
random decision.
It was a bad strat.
Yeah, but if it was a random decision, you know, you don't really want to be doing them in officials either. You want to try and get a merc in something like that, you know. Decent ping is going to play better than a lagging caps on heavy. But either way, it looked like 425 were definitely the superior team there. They took all the DM fights, had much better Ubers, and they managed to sneak the cap back a few times. With Saints unable to really hold middle, even when they were pressuring the enemy intel room.
Well, of course, guys, this is it. Sweden have not have failed so far to defend Europe against that Soviet tide of 425, and I think, as Admiral said, I'm basically just stealing words from him right now. But we're going to be seeing if they can defend their honour once more with Knutson and Debasite joining together with the rest of BFF to try and defend against 425, and that'll be coming up immediately soon. I think we're going to go to a small break, small music time while working out what's going on and what's going where. Hopefully, because I need John. That was the worst thing I've ever said.